guys, thank you for tuning in today. It's a beautiful Sunday, a little chilly. The temperatures went down this weekend, but it's still beautiful because it's sunny. I love me some sun. Anytime that it's a sunny day is a good day for me. I hope it's a sunny day wherever you are, or I hope it's a good day, whatever makes it good for you, whatever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in once again, and thank you for your continued support. So, this morning when I woke up, I had some uninvited guests in my mind. So, I woke up hearing this voice: who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And I gave it some time, and I was feeling down. Of course, I was self judging. I was not thinking of my worth. And on Sundays I go to church, or I try to go to church every Sunday when I can. And I had planned on going to church, and I knew that if I went to church, because of the way I was feeling, I had planned on going to Porter's house, and I knew, TD Jakes is going to say something really, really good to lift me up. But I chose not to, because I wanted to deal with how I was feeling and come out of it by myself. Because I always will not have TD Jakes around me. So I had this voice: who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And that's not a good message. I don't even tell this kind of message to the people that I love, or I don't even tell this kind of message to people that I don't like. But it is like self-abuse, telling yourself like nasty things, or believing the voices, or hearing those voices. So I decided to cut it off, or cut off the voices. I was like, enough. So I went to the shower, and I was like, okay, I am washing myself, because I was feeling really dirty inside. Because those are not like uplifting messages. Who do you think you are? So I said, I'm gonna cleanse myself. This water is gonna cleanse and clean all those dirty voices, and they're gonna be gone to the dumps. And I started self-affirming who I am, that I am loving, that God loves me, that I can love, that people who love me, that I am creative, that I'm created in God's image, that I'm important, that God knows me by name, that I'm in this world for a purpose, that I am strong, all those beautiful messages. And then within time, I started feeling good. So it's really hard. I don't know if you go through such moments, but it's really hard to self-judge and love at the same time. And I believe self-judgment, or those negative messages, are like rocks. We hold on to them depending on the size, or depending on the interpretation of the messages that we've heard over time. And those messages could have come from our caregivers, or from society. That I was born in the wrong family, that I am poor, and therefore I'm poverty. That little lack thing is who I am. So not having a distinction of the mistakes or poverty itself, and then we are personalizing it to mean that it's us. So they're like rocks, and we carry them around, and we've picked a lot of them over time. They could have come from our parents, they could have come from society, our teachers, the people that we are around, or mistakes that we've made, the things that we've told ourselves when we've made mistakes. And so we carry them around. And this bag, our hearts and our minds are like this bag. So we store them. We store these rocks, these hurtful messages over time. We collect them. And then randomly, they show up, like they showed up in the morning for me. So we collect these messages, the message that I am stupid. So perhaps you were dating somebody or you're married and then somebody cheated on you. The message that you collect from that is that I am not enough. So you pick that rock and put it in the bag, and the bag representing your hearts and your mind. You know, that you're stupid. You know, you interpret some messages to mean you're stupid. So you pick up those rocks and find a really tight place close to your heart and your mind, and you put them here. You carry them. That you've betrayed yourself. You pick up another rock, that some things don't belong to me, that I don't belong to that class, you know, that I'm not able, that I can't do it. You pick it up. That I was born, you know, out of an affair and therefore I'm dirty, that I'm wrong, I shouldn't be here. You pick up those rocks. Guilt, you pick up and then you put them really, really close to your heart and in your mind. That you're inferior, that you're defective, you know, that you're flawed, that there's something wrong with you, that you're not enough. All those messages. That you cannot be trusted, that you cannot be loved. You know, all those messages coming from our experiences or the messages that we are hearing from others. So we put them really close to our hearts and in our heads, and then they show up randomly somewhere when you're just minding your business. You know, and they're not really good messages, never, you know. So I'd like to say that God loves you the way you are, and you're worthy the way you are. Just because you're born makes you valuable. That there's nothing you do or not do to increase your value as a person. So I'd like to say that. So over time, this bag becomes heavy. And because it's our hearts and our minds, you know, it blocks us from seeing well. It blocks us from inviting people into our lives because there's a barrier, you know. People can hug us because we have a barrier. We can't even access our authentic selves because we have so much baggage in our chests. Our back even hurts because we cannot stand in our own truth, you know. And this is really terrible. So this Sunday, I'd like for you to take the courage and put that bag down. That's the first step. It doesn't belong to you. You are so valuable and you're important to God. And you are lovable. You are everything God is. You just need to activate it. And that your mistakes are not who you are. Your mistakes and failures are just your way to grow. Remember, we were born, we didn't know how to talk. We started learning by, you know, little words like pa 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 ta ta ta, and we continued learning until we were fluent. We didn't just start walking. We started by crawling, taking one step and then falling, taking another. We were born to learn, and failures and falling are part of growth. So somewhere down the road, we started being afraid of making those mistakes because of the messages that we picked from society or from, you know, our own interpretation of what people did. We personalized them. And, you know, we can start putting the bag down and start healing. And, you know, you don't have to take all the rocks out one day. You can start looking and finding which rocks you have and take them out one at a time, you know, one at a time. And replace those messages with loving messages, because you are God's best, really. And like I said, you are everything God is: creative, loving, powerful. You are a voice. And you need to start, you know, giving your voice power. You are intelligent, you are important, you are lovable. Even if you failed in your relationships, even if you've had like 10 failures, it's not the end. There are mistakes. You can learn from them. You can take, even if, one way didn't work, you can take another direction because we were born to learn. You're able, you can do it. You can hold a relationship. Come on. I know you can because you are born to love and you're born to be loved. There is love in you. You just need to activate it. You are free. You are forgiven. Forgiveness is such an expensive gift. And what you could do is give it to yourself. Even if those you think you've wronged have not given you forgiveness, forgive yourself. And that really counts. Give yourself that forgiveness for the failures, for the mistakes, even if you have evidence of your mistakes everywhere. Forgive yourself and start over. A journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. And you can compare yourself. Some of those voices and rocks can come to you and tell you, hey, look at so and so, they are so far away. No, you're not them. You're unique and you can start your own journey. So you are forgiven and you're loved. So when those random messages come to you like they came to me, I hope you will look at them. You'll have the courage to look at them and find out where they came from. And just know that you're valuable. You're valuable no matter what. You're worthy. There's nothing you can do to add your value or to remove your value. I hope that was helpful. And I'm hoping you have a free week, a self-loving week. And silence. I hope you'll have a chance to silence those voices and, heal, forgive, lift your voice up, and know your worth. Know your worth and affirm it. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful week.